Have you ever found yourself wondering, is the secret to success just to keep pushing no matter what? Do you feel that familiar, nagging pressure to always be on? Answering every email, taking every call, conquering every single item on your to-do list before your head even thinks about hitting the pillow. It's a feeling so many of us know intimately. We've been conditioned to believe our worth is tied to our productivity. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, a testament to our dedication and drive. But what if I told you this relentless hustle is actually holding you back from your highest potential? This isn't just about feeling tired. It's a misunderstanding of how peak performance actually works. We see highlight reels of other entrepreneurs assume they're running on an infinite source of energy. We tell ourselves, work a little harder, a little longer, and we'll finally break through. But that's a flawed premise. It ignores a critical biological truth about our brains and bodies. Burnout, creative stagnation, a business that feels more like a prison than a passion. It's time to question the narrative that more effort always equals more success. Imagine your creative energy as a deep well. Every task you complete, every decision you make, every problem you solve. It all draws water from that well. Hustle culture tells us to keep drawing. We celebrate draining ourselves dry. Believing an empty well proves a hard day's work, but an empty well can't sustain you. Your team. The brilliant vision for your company. Let me tell you about a client of mine. Let's call her Sarah. She was the brilliant founder of a fast-growing tech startup, a true visionary in her field. From the outside, she was the epitome of success. Her company was getting incredible press, securing funding, attracting top talent. Sarah herself was a force of nature, charismatic, intelligent, relentlessly driven. She worked 16-hour days, fueled by caffeine, and the sheer adrenaline of building her dream. She believed any moment she wasn't actively working was letting her team down, letting her investors down, letting herself down. Rest felt like a luxury she couldn't afford. For 2 years, that strategy seemed to work. The company grew at an explosive rate. Sarah became a celebrated figure, but behind the scenes, the cracks were starting to show. Her creativity began to wane. She struggled with problems that used to be easy. Her team noticed she was more irritable and less patient. Inspiration felt distant, replaced by low-grade anxiety. She was hitting a wall. But she kept telling herself to put her foot on the gas and power through. She mistook burnout symptoms for a personal failing. The breaking point came at a crucial board meeting. She was presenting the next quarter vision. But the words felt hollow. Her passion was gone, replaced by exhaustion. Mid-sentence, her mind went completely blank. Total system shutdown. Panic and embarrassment washed over her as she stood silent before investors. In that moment, she realized non-stop hustle had brought her to her knees. She'd ignored every warning sign. Sarah's story is not unique. I see versions of it every day with the women I work with. We are taught to push through pain, to ignore our need for rest, to sacrifice our well-being for achievement. We skip the most vital part of the performance cycle because no one ever told us it existed. We burn through our precious resources until there's nothing left. Then we wonder why we feel empty and uninspired. Sarah's burnout wasn't weakness. It was the inevitable result of a flawed, unsustainable approach. It was the painful, necessary wake-up call she needed to discover the missing piece. So what is this mysterious missing piece? It's the fourth and final phase of the flow cycle, recovery. If you're not familiar with the flow cycle, it's a 4-part neurobiological process that leads to peak performance. The first 3 phases are struggle, release, and flow. We're all familiar with the struggle. That's the grind, the deep work, the part where you're pushing your cognitive limits. We live for the flow state, that magical experience where time melts away and you feel and perform your best. But what we consistently miss is what comes after. Recovery is the essential, non-negotiable phase where your brain and body repair, refuel, and prepare for the next cycle of high performance. Repair, refuel, prepare. Think of it like this. A world-class athlete doesn't sprint a race and then immediately line up to sprint another one. They understand that the magic doesn't just happen on the track. It happens in the downtime. The stretching, the proper nutrition, the sleep, the massage, their muscles rebuild stronger than before. Without that recovery phase, their performance would plummet, and they'd inevitably injure themselves. Your brain is no different. After the intense neurochemical cocktail of a flow state, your mind needs time to reset, rebalance, and consolidate everything it just learned and created. Reset, rebalance, consolidate. Skipping recovery is like trying to win a marathon by never stopping for water. The reason so many ambitious female founders miss this phase is simple. Our culture glorifies the struggle and the flow, but it dismisses recovery as laziness or a lack of commitment. We've been sold a lie that if you're not actively doing, you're not achieving. This is especially true for women, who often feel they have to work twice as hard to be seen as equally competent. We internalize this pressure. We view rest not as a strategic tool, but as a guilty pleasure, or worse, a sign that we can't handle the heat. This outdated mindset is the single biggest obstacle standing between you and your most brilliant, innovative, and sustainable work. True recovery isn't just about binge-watching Netflix until you pass out, though sometimes that can be part of it. It's an active, intentional process. It involves low-stakes activities that allow your conscious mind to wander while your subconscious goes to work. This can include things like taking a walk in nature, meditating, light exercise, listening to music, or simply daydreaming without an agenda. It's during these moments of doing nothing that your brain makes novel connections, solves complex problems, and generates your next big idea. Recovery isn't the opposite of work. It's the essential partner to it. It's the phase where true genius is born. It's time for a major paradigm shift. We must challenge and dismantle the toxic belief that stopping means losing momentum. This couldn't be further from the truth. In reality, strategic recovery is what creates momentum. It's the slingshot effect. You have to pull back in order to launch forward with greater force precision. Constantly pushing forward without pulling back just leads to friction, burnout, diminishing returns. You're not stepping off the gas. You're stopping to refuel for a longer, faster, more enjoyable journey ahead. You come back to your work with more energy, clarity, creativity than ever before. Think about the value you create. Is your value measured by hours at your desk, or by the quality of your ideas, the clarity of your decisions, the inspiration you provide to your team? A burned-out leader running on empty can't make great decisions. An exhausted founder can't inspire anyone. By prioritizing recovery, you are directly investing in the quality of your output. That 1 hour you spend on a walk, away from your screen, might spark a multi-million-dollar idea or solve the nagging operational problem that's been holding your company back for months. Rest isn't a cost, it's an investment with exponential return. This reframe is about seeing yourself as a corporate athlete. Your performance depends on your physical state, mental state, emotional state. Ignoring recovery is like an athlete ignoring a torn muscle. It's not tough, it's foolish, and will take you out of the game. Embracing recovery says you're in this for the long haul. You're building a sustainable model for success for your business, for your life. Your ability to strategically disengage gives you the ultimate competitive edge. It's your secret weapon, not just to win the game, but to change it entirely. Your recovery is where your next breakthrough is waiting for you. So, how do you start integrating this game-changing phase into your life? The key is to be as intentional about your recovery as you are about your work. Start small and build from there. Schedule recovery time into your calendar just like you would a critical meeting. Block out 20 to 30 minutes in the middle of your day for a no-screens break. Go for a walk, listen to a few songs, stretch, or just sit and stare out the window. At first, it might feel uncomfortable or unproductive, but stick with it. You are retraining your brain to understand that this downtime is not only allowed, but essential for high-quality work. I highly encourage you to go back and explore the first 3 phases: struggle, release, flow. Understanding how they all work together will give you a complete roadmap to unlocking your peak performance consistently and sustainably. If you'd like personalized guidance on how to implement this and other flow-based strategies into your unique business, I invite you to book a one-on-one consultation with me. Thank you for being here and for being open to a new way of working. The world needs your unique gifts, and you deserve to share them from a place of fullness, not depletion. This is Organization with Susie, and I'll see you in the next video.